Imagine waking up one morning to find the world completely changed, borders redrawn, empires gone, millions of lives lost. A war so massive that it reshaped history forever. But how did it start? What led to this global catastrophe? And most importantly, did we ever truly learn from it? By 1914, the world was on edge. Rivalries between great powers had been building for decades. Nations were racing to expand their empires, stacking weapons in preparation for a war they all saw coming. Alliances were drawn. On one side, Germany and Austria-Hungary stood together, and on the other, Britain, France, and Russia vowed to defend one another. Then, one event shattered the fragile peace. Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary was assassinated in Sarajevo, setting off a chain reaction no one could stop. Austria declared war on Serbia, Russia mobilized in defense of its ally, Germany declared war on Russia, and within weeks, Europe was in flames. At first, many believed the war would be quick. Soldiers marched off with confidence, banners waving, believing they'd be home by Christmas. But when they reached the battlefields, they found a reality more horrifying than anything they had imagined. Machine guns turned open fields into slaughterhouses. Poison gas, first used in 1915, choked soldiers to death in the trenches. Bombs fell from the sky as war entered a terrifying new age. The battlefield became a graveyard stretching for miles. In France and Belgium, soldiers dug deep trenches, believing it was a temporary measure. But these trenches would define the war. For years, men lived in filth, surrounded by the stench of death, their bodies covered in lice, their boots sinking into the mud. They suffered not only from bullets and bombs, but from hunger, disease, and psychological torment. Rats the size of cats fed on the bodies of the fallen. And when the whistle blew, they had to climb over the top, running straight into a storm of gunfire that left thousands dead in minutes. It wasn't just soldiers who suffered. Entire cities were reduced to rubble. Families starved as food became scarce. Governments collapsed under the pressure. In 1917, the Russian people, exhausted by war and hunger, overthrew their government in a revolution that would change the course of history. The Russian monarchy was gone, replaced by the Soviet Union, a rising power that would later challenge the world in an ideological war that lasted nearly a century. Meanwhile, across the ocean, the United States remained neutral, watching as Europe tore itself apart. But then, Germany made a desperate move. In 1917, they began attacking American supply ships, hoping to cripple the Allies. Instead, they woke a sleeping giant. The United States entered the war, bringing fresh troops, advanced technology, and endless resources. The balance shifted. The exhausted Central Powers, drained of manpower and supplies, began to collapse. By November 1918, the war was over. But peace came at a cost. The Treaty of Versailles forced Germany to take full blame, pay crushing reparations, and give up territory. The Ottoman Empire collapsed, leading to the birth of modern Turkey in 1923. However, foreign powers imposed harsh economic restrictions, controlling its resources, especially oil. But today, a century later, those restrictions are finally ending, a shift that could redefine Turkey's place in the world. Another decision in 1917 would shape history in ways few realized at the time. The Balfour Declaration, issued by Britain, supported the creation of a Jewish homeland in Palestine. What seemed like a simple political statement would later ignite one of the longest and most complex conflicts in modern history. World War I wasn't just a war. It was the beginning of a new world, one where war would no longer be fought with swords and horses, but with machines, chemicals, and total destruction. It was supposed to be the war that ended all wars. Instead, it became the war that set the stage for an even deadlier conflict, World War II. If you found this video informative, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Your support helps us bring you more powerful historical content. Until then, take care.